सरस्वत्यै नमः। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय। ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमन्यव उतोत्त इषभे नमः। नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुतते नमः। यात इषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूवते धनुः। शिवा शरव्यायातवतया नो रुद्रमृडया। याते रुद्रशिवा तनूरघोरा पापकाशिनी। तया नस्तनुवासन्तमया गिरिशन्थाभिशाकशीः। यामिषुं गिरिशन्तहस्ते बिभर्ष्यस्तवे। शिवां गुरुत्रतां कुरु माहि गुंसि पुरुषं जगत्। शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिसाक्षावधामसि। यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मगुं सुमना असत्। अद्य वोचदधिभक्ता प्रथमो दैव्योऽभिषक्। अहीगुश्च सर्वान् झम्पयन् सर्वा आष्टयातु धान्यः। असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः। ये चेमागुं रुद्रा अभितो दिक्षु श्रुता सहस्रशो वैशागुं हेडईमहे। असौ यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः। उतैनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः। उतैनं विश्वा भूतानि सदृष्टो मृडयातिनः। नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीडुषे। अथो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो करन्नमः। प्रमुञ्च दन्वनस्वमुभयोराग्नियोर्जां। यास्तते हस्त इषव पराता भगवो वपा। अवतत्य धनुष्वगुं सहस्राक्षशतेषु दे। निशीर्य शल्यानां मुखा शिवो नः सुमना भवा। विज्यं कपर्दिनो विशल्यो भानवागुम् उता। अनेशन्नस्ये सव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः। याते हेतिर्मीडुष्टमहस्ते बभूवते धनुः। तयास्मान् विश्वतस्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुजा। नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधायान तथाय धृष्णवे। उभाभ्यामुतते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने। परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः। अथो य इषुधिस्तवारे अस्मन्निदेहितम्। नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि
भर्गो देवस्य
धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
ॐ
ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्
भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। जय लम्बोदरा पाहि माम्।
जय लम्बोदरा पाहि माम्।
जय लम्बोदरा पाहि माम्।
जय लम्बोदरा पाहि माम्।
जगदम्बा सुता रक्ष माम्। जगदम्बा सुता रक्ष माम्। जय लम्बोदरा पाहि माम्।
जय लम्बोदरा पाहि माम्।
शरणागत रक्ष माम्। जय गुरु ओंकारा जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा ओम
जय गुरु ओंकारा जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा
जय गुरु ओंकारा जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा ओम
जय गुरु ओंकारा जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा
हर 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 महादेवा
ओम 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 शिव 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 सदा शिवा
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 जय गुरु ओंकारा जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा ओम
जय गुरु ओंकारा जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा
ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदा शिवा
हर 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 महादेवा
हर 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 महादेवा
शिव 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 सदा शिवा
शिव 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 सदा शिवा
गुरु ओंकारा जय जय सद्गुरु ओंकारा ओम
देवी भवानी माँ साई भवानी माँ
देवी भवानी माँ जय साई भवानी
देवी भवानी माँ साई भवानी माँ
देवी भवानी माँ जय साई भवानी
दया करो साई माँ कृपा करो साई माँ
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 जय माँ जय माँ जय देवी भवानी माँ
जय माँ जय माँ जय देवी भवानी माँ
जय माँ जय माँ जयपर्तिनि वासिनि मा जय साई भवानी मा
जय पर्तिनि वासिनि मां जय साई भवानी
देवी भवानी मा साई भवानी मा
देवी भवानी मां जय साई भवानी
दया करो साई माँ कृपा करो साई माँ
दया करो साई मां कृपा करो साई मां
जय माँ जय माँ जय देवी भवानी माँ
जय मां जय देवी भवानी मां
जय साई भवानी माँ
जय साई भवानी
जय माँ जय देवी भवानी माँ
जय मां जय देवी भवानी मां
जय पर्तिनि वासिनि माँ जय साई भवानी माँ
जय पर्तिनि वासिनि मां जय साई भवानी
जय पर्तिनि वासिनि माँ जय साई भवानी माँ
जय पर्तिनि वासिनि मां जय साई भवानी
देवी भवानी माँ साई भवानी माँ
My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our dearest Swami, Sathya Sai Baba. Sai Ram, everyone.
Sai Ram.
Welcome to this special day and special topic. Spring is supposed to have been here, but it's still cold out there. But we have a heartwarming topic. And Swami has blessed us and sent to us a loving person who is lovingly called as Uncle Paddy to be here with us and talk to us on something special that's going to happen in SSGC USA. That will be a blessing for every devotee of Swami and every spiritually oriented person. I want to take this opportunity to also welcome some of our regional and national office bearers who are here today. Of course, our ex-regional president and would-be national president, Brother Pradosh, is here. Our newly minted regional education coordinator is here, Brother Sundar. Brother Subbu is also supposed to be here, the new service coordinator for the region. I'm sure 495 traffic has caught him. And I'm happy to see that our now newly national media coordinator Ranjish is here. And Brother Prasad, who has done so much work for EHV and continues to do, is here. Of course, our own medical director for Region 2, Dr. Veda is here. Special day. So I'm going to stop here and invite Brother Pradosh to come and say a few words and introduce Uncle Paddy.
Om Sri Sai Ram, my humble salutations at the lotus feet of our Lord, Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. Coming to this, our Bethesda center brings so many nostalgic memory. When I moved to this area first time, 1998 February, this was the first center I attended, and I met Arni and Ramesh uncle on the first day. I cannot forget that. Okay, Ramesh uncle, of course, our enthusiastic uncle who was always bringing so many memories of bhajans that he had with Subbarao uncle. And of course, this morning in Loudon Center, we were with our Paddy Padmanabhan uncle. We were also talking about him because he knows him very closely. Well, we participated in so many satsangs here. Our children did Vikas here. And it becomes very emotional to stand here, but it's a big honor to be here. And this is our mother center, as we call it in Loudon. Yes. It is always very uplifting to participate in bhajans and then to talk about Swami's Seva project. And to talk about it, of course, in detail, we have our uncle. But I myself have been getting involved for the last 7 or 8 months. And the enthusiasm that I have seen across the board for this very sacred initiative that is happening as Prashanti Dham in Dallas, Texas, is overbearing. We have talked to so many people across our region as well as in Canada and other places, and everybody is very excited. This is the first time, as we have been saying, Swami's dwelling is being built in Western world, which is fully supported and actually endorsed by Central Trust. Not only that, of course, our Global Council and Sir Chakravarti have been very closely involved, as we have been hearing from our Paddy Padmanabhan uncle. So that's why we are here. We want to be involved in this project. Everything that is going to happen in Prashanti Nilayam is going to be replicated in Prashanti Dham. That is the vision. And the full vision, of course, is going to be shared. Whether it is daily bhajans, Nagar Sankirtan, Balvikas conferences, Seva conferences, all other programs that we can envision can be done here, because that area, 9 acres of the land, has all of it that can be built. So the question that we are going to ask is not when will it happen or will it happen? No. That with Swami's Sankalpa is going to happen for sure at his own timing. But the question that we have to ask ourselves, all of us, is what will be my involvement? What will be our involvement? What will be my participation? What will be the role that I will be playing in this sacred project? We hear all these beautiful stories of first Prashanti Mandir that was built, old Mandir as we call it, that was built in 1950s. And so many devotees got opportunity, we read about them to participate. Then we hear of, I have heard of this Sarvadharma Stupa that was built. And people were doing Sramadan during even the rain and the storm, and that happened. And then, of course, many Sai students participated in 1990s in super specialty hospital that we heard. So we were thinking, how if only we had the chance to participate during that time. I was not even in Sai fold. I was not even born in the first two initiatives that happened. But now here is our opportunity to be involved in building Swami's dwelling right here. We all want to go to Prashanti Nilayam and we don't even want to leave from there. Many a times the constraint is our commitments here, our work commitments, family commitments. But when we go there for 1 week, 2 weeks, we don't feel like coming. And many my Sai friends from Goa or from Maharashtra, they are able to go at the moment's notice to Prashanti Nilayam. Just one flight and they go there for a weekend and come back. And I was always feeling, how nice it would be if I could also go like that. Swami has, with his infinite grace, has brought this Prashanti Dham. It is going to happen whenever. That time, we will be able to do the same thing. Over a weekend, we can just go to Prashanti Dham, which is extension of Prashanti Nilayam, as Sir Chakravarti said. And we will be able to enjoy the same bliss that we have been enjoying in Prashanti Nilayam. Of course, we will be going to Prashanti Nilayam every year as we are been going on a pilgrimage. There is no replacement for that. But this will be the complement, this will be the additional benefit that we will be having. There is also the benefit of not requiring to look at those 15 flight options. Okay, then also the disruption that now I was supposed to go to India in few days. The tickets now, of course, are cancelled. Such kind of things I'm not expecting to happen here. We'll be able to go as many times as we want. We've been going to New Jersey, many of us from our southern part of the region, almost every month, sometimes every couple of months. I'm thinking, when this happens, every month we'll be going to Prashanti Dham as well. So to lay out this whole detail as to how the project will look, how the building will look, of course we have our uncle. He has been teaching management and finance in Swami's Higher Institute from 1998 onwards. He has been, of course, serving as a president of our region for the last 4 years, of our region 10. And he has been a Vikas teacher for more than 2 decades. He has served as a SSSE coordinator for the center, Dallas Center, as well as, Dallas region, as well as young adult coordinator for the region. And of course, he has also served as the president of the region, president of the center. He has also been a CEO of a technology company before he retired. So with that, I will now request our Paddy uncle to come here and share the grand vision of Prashanti Dham. Sai Ram.
Om Shri Sai Ram. By the way, the Devi song was very powerful. I felt like you invoked Swami here, right? And I see S. Kumar at the back. Hail, Chief, how are you? Good to see you. I'm a very firm believer that we all get together not because we choose to. We all get together because He chooses us to come together. There are so many of us in this center, in this region. We get an opportunity. Only those who want, the heart tells you to come here and you're here. And I believe that that's because it's Swami bringing us all together. What He has embarked on, He is the doer and we're all the instruments trying to get His work done. He has started on this path of creating a Prashanti Nilayam type of environment in the US, and that's what is called Prashanti Dham. I wanted to share a little bit of how that evolved over a period of time. This is not something that happened 6 months ago or 8 months ago. There were a group of people in Dallas in 2018 who came together and they had vision of starting a facility for this Dallas Center to operate. That's how it all started. They went out and had access to 9 acres of land. They didn't have the resources to buy all the 9 acres, so they got an individual involved with the intention of getting access to 4 acres. The other individual got access to 5. But for some odd reason, when the transaction took place, all the 9 acres was in the ownership of this organization, and the other person who gave the 5 acres of land just decided to give that portion of the money as a loan, and that's how it started. And in exchange for that loan, he had said, if you don't construct anything in the next 3 years, then by default he would have claims to the land, and he would pay this group the money that they had paid and take access. So that's how they had the deal, and then they were getting started, hoping that they could construct the center. This was in 2018. And then it just went on, and for some reason, it didn't get started, in spite of the fact that the people who were involved were very sincere in their efforts. They would offer prayers to Swami, wanted him to help build it, and that whole process, okay, it just didn't move. We were all wondering why, what was happening. And then, of course, when you start a project and it doesn't move, interpretations are different. So, it hurt those who were actively involved doing hard work. So we went through that phase, right? And then we get the split in the organization. And a lot of the people who were there who wanted Prashanti Dham to start were not with GC when that happened. So now Prashanti Dham was in a limbo, right? They tried to approach the SSIO. They heard about it, but nothing moved. So these people were there, they decided they were going to be independent. And then for a long time, they remained independent. And then something happened. I had a chance to meet with them and ask them if they would be willing to become part of GC. Maybe we could try to revive this. They thought about it, came back and said yes. And at that time, Akshay was invited to come to our regional retreat. I sat down, I talked to him. We drove to the facility. This is all, nothing was planned here. I'm just letting you know. We drove to the facility, we saw it. He was really happy, and then he said, well, let me take it to the, I'm going for a zonal conference, I'll bring it up. So he went there, he brought it up, and then I think Sri Ratnakar asked Nimish Pandya and Naganand to take a look at it. So we had long conversations with Nimish, and then everything came to a standstill because Naganand was not available. And then we were just waiting, and one day I was talking to Balu, and then suddenly we get a call from Naganand. He was in California, and it was a Wednesday, and he said he would come to Dallas on Friday. So we quickly got ready. He came down. We took him there, and then we got the 3 people who were involved in the early stages to come. We all had a discussion, took Naganand to the facility, and then this all happened, the meeting happened at my home, he was there, and then he sent a note to Prashanti Dham, to Ratnakar and others saying this is a great project. So that's how it all started, right? We still didn't understand the impact of what was happening. We thought, okay, great, everybody has come together, now let's see how we can revive. Okay, so now, this is when you realize the divinity is acting in the background, right? So now we realize after all this was done, there was this enormous pressure on our land. We really didn't own all the 9 acres of land, right? Because the options were in the hand of somebody else, right? And in the meantime, this land was purchased for $1.6 million. The valuation of the land now is over close to $8 million. So there's a person who's sitting there with an option who could have, for putting another $800,000, could have got an $8 million property in his hands. How do you negotiate that, right? But anyway, we went and tried. First meeting, nothing happened. And then out of the blue, a couple of days later, he calls and says, look, you guys take this land, I'll write the loan off, and just pay me 400 of the 800 you owe me. The land is yours. The ownership of the land is yours. How do you think this ever happened? See, that's when the realization came. At least Swami was behind this, right? So I think, but then everything started to happen. So one of the first things that we have done is everything that, so we created the Prashanti Dham Foundation, and we wrote the bylaws where it will be directly under the oversight of Central Trust. And all of the assets of Prashanti Dham will be part of Central Trust, and it will go through, because of legal reasons, it will go through the Global Council Foundation here in the US. So this is fully within. And then we formed a board. We wanted to make sure that this stays forever, because this is not something where a few people are getting together in start and then their time is up. And then, so we decided to put a set of bylaws together where we wanted to make sure that there was participation across the organization. So there is in our board, there is Mr. Naganand is representative from the Central Trust. And then to ensure that this is aligned with the Global Council organization, always the zonal chair will be part of the board. The national president will be part of the board. And then the regional president will be part of the board. These four will always be there. So when they change, the new people will take over. So this will always continue. And then these four will nominate 3 people to be additional board of directors. So it'll be a total of 7 people on the board. So to begin with, we've had the 4, and then we've added the 3 people who were the ones who actually were involved in starting it, because you want to give them an opportunity to be involved as this progresses. So that's the board we've started with, and we are beginning to work on the plans. See, Prashanti Dham is shouldn't be perceived as a place for centers to meet. You know, it is a place where Sai devotees and others can come in. So the one of the biggest underlying aspect of Prashanti Dham is it's going to be a multi-faith center. And any Sai devotee, independent of the organization they belong to, would have the opportunity to come in and be part of it. However, the organization, the board of directors, etc., that will all be part of Global Council. Okay? So we will not have restrictions. If people from other Sai organizations want to get involved in it, we would welcome them. But the governance will be with the Global Council. Governance will involve people from the Central Trust, but access will be to everyone, right? And this is all also coming from Sri Ratnakar and the Central Trust with the members. So I'm not saying anything that is not going to happen. All this is laid out and it will happen. Now I wanted to bring something else to you. When we bought this land, there was nothing of this was in our head. But I'll show you in the pictures here that before that road we are on, our neighbors are a Jewish synagogue, a church, and a mosque. These are our neighbors. Okay? So that road, the 14th Street, is like a multi-faith corridor. And you go less than half a mile, we have the Shirdi Baba temple too. Right? So it's just unbelievable, right? So it's around a group of, multi-faith. So one of the things we're going to do very early is to develop relationship with the leaders of those organizations and make it open for them to come and participate in it. So it will truly be a multi-faith center. And also the directives that we have got is the focus should be on community service, right? See, Bhagawan taught us spirituality is about community service. It is hand in hand, right? It is through serving others that we see God in them, right? So service, community service will be a major focus of it. So in addition to building the bhajan hall or the spiritual center, the education classrooms and conference rooms, etc., and providing accommodations for people to stay, we will also build we'll have a place for free clinics that we would do, and we are going to be working with, all the physicians involved here to see how we can operate that within the governing laws of the U.S. So there's a committee that will be formed to do that. You are going to be part of that committee. Yeah, okay. And then we are also going to have a storage place for disaster relief activities, so we can all take part in disaster relief activities. So this is the guidelines, and this is going to be a multi-faith service, community service-oriented center for all of us to come together, right? So the one thing I want, and this is the purpose of see, scales like this, projects of this scale, cannot happen if the village doesn't come together, right? See, I don't know how many of you, I come from a place called Palghar in India, okay? And this is how it is. You have a lot of villages there. And every village has a temple, okay? And it's like, for us, it used to be, we'll go to that village and then we will look at every temple that was just thriving, a lot of people there, the priest was there, the evening they had prayers, etc. Then the village is united, the temple is doing really good. Then you go to some temples, there'll be one priest, 2 or 3 people will be sitting there, no activity goes on, the village is not united. The reason I'm saying that is in order for Prashanti Dham to be lively, all of us have to come together. If we don't come together, it will be there, but it won't be fulfilling what Swami wants us to do, which is the purpose why we are going around, right? To get everybody to be involved in Prashanti Dham, right? And see, and when you get involved, this is something that you have to kind of think and ask yourself. See, Swami always said, everybody is born with a divine gift, right? We had such discussions once with him about parenting, and he was talking a lot about it's important for parents to understand the divine gift their child has. And he said, all of us should understand. He said, every human being is born with a divine gift. And he said, when you go to serve with using your divine gift, that's the best form of service because you're giving the best of yourself to serve others. Okay, and if you notice, there were people he would nurture, and if you look at it, they had God-given talent. And that is what he was nurturing to get them to serve in his mission and so forth, right? So the point I want to make is, when you want to get involved in Prashanti Dham, please ask yourself, what is the gift God has given you? And then extend yourself to serving Prashanti Dham with that gift God has given you. Then your connection with Prashanti Dham would be beautiful, and then what we give to the world would be very beautiful, right? So I urge all of you to just not say, yes, I want to be a volunteer, but ask yourself where you would really help, and how you can serve this, because this is larger than all of us, right? Because it is the best form of Swami's work. And just for Shivratri, I was there in Prashanti Dham and had a chance to meet with Sri Chakravarti for a long time, And during the course of the conversation, he said, do you understand what you're all trying to do? And I said, yeah, tell me. Yes, So he said, you're trying to build the Lord's Abode. That's a blessing in itself. And he said, you must be absolutely sure the Lord is going to bring the volunteers, his instruments to do his work. Nobody is a doer. He is the doer. Everybody working there should be instruments, right? So all of us need to work, get Prashanti Dham done, And it is done for generations to come. And when it is done and it is functional, nobody should know who are the people who work together to make it happen. We don't know in Prashanti Nilayam until you hear how all of those evolve. That's the same way this ought to be. Right? So everybody should come and get involved and give their very best. So this turns out to be a beautiful offering to the Lord. That's what I request all of you. Timeline, right? It's Swami's timeline. We don't know, right? So let's not go in and instead of being instruments, if we become doers, then we start talking about planning, execution, timeline, all of that, right? Instead, if we go in and say, I'm going to give my best every day to this project, and Swami will guide me, and this will move forward, I think it will happen, right? People will come forward, everything will come together, and it will happen. And that's the prayer I think all of us need to have. Come in as instruments, give the best God has given you to this project, so the best comes out of it for mankind. Okay? The sense that at least working on this you get is, this is being planned not for the older people. This is being planned for the next generation of children, right? All of us had opportunities, many of us here had opportunities to be there, interact with Swami, pray, etc. And now that memory that we have, we are carrying on to the next generation, right? Now, if you take 1 or 2 generations from now, they need to feel Swami in a different way, right? See, and the reason why I say this, I feel, is for them is while all this was going on, there was a gentleman who came, his father was very close to Swami and he was with him all the time. His son was here and he came and I took him down there and then, he said, have you ever considered bringing Divya Smriti here? Okay, so I said, no, I didn't even know what Divya Smriti was. So he said, it is in Bangalore. If you go to Prashanti Nilayam, you go and see the Divya Smriti. So when I went for Shivaratri, I went to Bangalore. I got in touch with the people there and I went into Divya Smriti. This is a very beautiful place. How many of you know about Divya Smriti? I urge every one of you, next time you go, stop by in Vrindavan in Bangalore, go into the campus, Vrindavan. You will see a 3,200 square foot place. You should walk in and go see it. See, this was conceived by one of the professors. He's no more. He died during COVID. Ruchir Desai had kind of conceived this, had all of these ideas. And then, of course, COVID took him away. And that idea he had finally came to being. And Radio Sai had a big role to play in this. This is, when you walk in, this is about Swami's life. It's chronicled using latest technology as you walk through. You could spend 4 hours in that 3,000 square feet space and learn everything about from Swami from the time he was born to all the projects he did. Everything is there. And you can query and go deeper and deeper into it if you want to know certain things. It just was mind-boggling, right? Something like that created for our children and their children and their children to come in and feel how it was to be in Prashanti Nilayam on Swami's birthday or to be in Hillview Stadium when the celebrations were going on. They could get that feeling through augmented reality. It would be a phenomenal experience, right? So when I met with Sri Ratnakar, I brought it up and I said, we should be able to do this. And he said, you should contact Radio Sai. And of course, he was able to call Sundar at Radio Sai, and I was able to go down and meet with them. This is what I learned from there. And this is something all of us need to know. This is the first avatar. We have 700 plus terabyte of data of everything Swami has done. The speeches he gave, the celebrations we had in Prashanti Nilayam, his pictures, his letters, everything. We have all of that archive, it's available in the archive center, right? And this was something Swami had already conceived. And my understanding is Venkataraman was even here. They looked at Smithsonian, tried to see how documents were being preserved. Then they went back. And if you ever had a chance, you can't get into the archives, but go see the archive building. There's 3 layers where you had to get purified, go through. Not all people can go, only certain people can go. And all of these documents are maintained in purest form. See, this avatar is the first avatar there. His life is there in the form he existed and what he did. Even Shri Baba, a lot of it is drawn, right? We talk of Rama and we talk of Krishna. It's all drawings, and that's what we look at and assume that was a form of the Lord. But here, he is there in physical form that we can see, right? So the discussion, we agreed that we never bring augmented reality into it and change what is there. I mean, artificial intelligence and change what is there. We can bring some of the latest technologies and recreate these environments for people to experience with no change to the information. No AI gets used on it. Swami's face is not going to be changed or anything. It'll be the way it is, right? So that's the promise that we all. So what we are going to do is, as part of Prashanti Dham, and I will show you, there will be this Divya Smriti Center that we will establish. We are trying to get alliances with some of the companies here, right? And bring some technology, bring the data from there, and create a whole new experience, right? Something like with a 360 screen, and a child is sitting there, and Hillview Stadium, Swami's birthday celebrations are going on. This child can sit down and feel how it was being in the Hillview Stadium. All of us who never went there can get a feeling of that. And this gets carried on for generations, right? When Swami comes out of his home and he is walking to Purnachandra Auditorium, all of us have seen him walk, right? Now, if that is there and you have a child and the child's image is captured and it's moving with Swami coming into Purnachandra Auditorium, the memory of that child is going to be as if they were there, right? So we are going to start working on that. Sundar was very excited about it. So that's going to be a very important aspect of this as we build it out, right? So this is really about multi-faith, community service, all of us coming together and experiencing Swami's living message, giving opportunities for our children to experience it, and we create something for generations to go. Okay, that's the vision, and that is where we've started. And Swami will guide us. This is what was presented to him, right? And it immediately started moving. So I'm going to show you some pictures. These are our renderings right now, but this is how the plan will look. We started by taking the model that we had, and on Swami's 100th birthday, Balu took it and we got permission. And so it was offered to Swami on his 100th birthday. That is the picture here, right? So this was where everything started. And since 100th birthday, we have been moving quite rapidly to see what we can do. So the next slide. This is the 7-acre land, a 9-acre land. That L-shaped, green L-shaped is a 9-acre land. And then on this side, you have I don't know the order because I can't see from here, but the first building there is, I believe it's the synagogue. The second one is the Buddhist center, and then you have the church, and then farther out is a mosque. That's the lineup here as you come in from the 14th Street into this area, right? Now there's a piece of land that is up there with a building. Those people are the ones who own this 9 acres of land. And they are in the geo business, but then I think it's a generational business, and there might be an opportunity further down the road for us to be able to get access to that land, in which case that whole area would become, but I think Swami will make it happen as this evolves. Right now, I think based on what he is expecting, our growth and what we can do can be accomplished 9 acres of land. So this is the L-shaped is where this is going to be. Can you go to the next slide? Okay, here's a good news. So this is where we place these different buildings that are going to be there. We went to the city of Plano, and the mayor was very happy. So that road where Prashanti Dham building will be 3888 Lawal Drive. So today, if you come to Dallas and go 3888 Lawal Drive, it will take you to Prashanti Dham. Okay? And the mayor also agreed. In Swami's birthday, we proclaimed it as an official day in Plano. So there's a good connectivity with the government. Because this is, again, from Swami's perspective, it is very important. He could do what he wanted, but he always followed the rules of engagement of the government and work within those rules. So we decided right from the beginning, we're going to create kind of a very good relationship with the mayor's office there to get all the support. And they are very aware of what we are doing. So the building committee, everybody in the mayor's office are very aligned with what we are doing. Next, so the way the campus is, originally we wanted to keep Prashanti Dham. This is going to be on the east side, and then we wanted to have the accommodations on the north side, right up there. And then this was going to be the parking lot area, and we were going to construct other buildings. But when Prashanti Nilayam got involved and Central Trust got involved, one of the things we learned was the location of that building should be moved to the west. Because if you look at Prashanti Nilayam, this is what Ratnak was, everything starts from the west. You cannot have empty space in the west. So we have to do some shifting of building that we are working on right now. So we would go from this side, and so we're not sure where the parking lot would be, but it will have accommodations. So one thought was have the building, then on the west side, walkway takes you to accommodation, and then the kitchen area, etc., for people. And then we open that area up for parking lot. So it's being discussed right now. We're working with the architect to make some changes. And then that will have to get approved by Prashanti Nilayam, the Central Trust, to make sure that everything as per Vastu guidelines of Swami we adhere to. This was done based on the information, Vastu guidelines we got, but now it's going to be directly from those Swami used to get the guidelines. So we're waiting for that, and then there will be some changes made to it, and then it will be exactly the way it was there in Prashanti Nilayam, right? Next slide. So this is going to be the view of the building, aerial view of the building. Next slide. Just go back to the... next slide. Yeah. So here, that aerial view, you don't see it, but where the green area is, when you come further out, that is where you're going to have the Sarva Dharma Stupa, exactly like the way it is back there, right? That will be very visible as you come in, right? Next slide. So this is going to be the entrance, and we are getting lot of input from there, because the wall there will have certain murals and things which will really give that feeling of walking into Swami's abode, right? So we're working very closely with them on that. Next one. So this was the way we had the entrance decide, and we were looking at the entrance the way it was in the hospital. But then Ratnakar looked at it and said, let's not Swami didn't want every building to look the same. He wanted it to be different. So we were clearly told we shouldn't do this. We should come up with a different way to create a different identity to the building, not take what is already there. So we got to rework on this. See, this is where I think he's bringing everything the way he wants it to be done, right? Because we go in there and think we're going to do it. See how much everything has to be redone now. All the work has been done, has to be redone. This is how Swami brings it together, right? So that will be completely reworked. Now, where we have very good response. The next couple of slides. So that's good. Those drawings didn't change, right? So let's go to the next slide. Okay, this is the bhajan hall. This will accommodate 1,200 people. Okay, and right there where you see that's going to be the altar. Of course, we cannot have samadhi field there because that's only in one place. So we are working with them to create it almost like the way it would be in the bhajan hall, in the mandir at the back. That kind of feeling will come, and we will work with a lot of people from there to get that same feeling of the altar. Then behind the altar, we'll have no, don't go there yet. Go to the other. Behind that, you see the two doors. That's really the mandir. And we'll try to get a mandir at the back similar. And this side, we're going to have a small meditation room for those who want to sit down and meditate. And then when you look here, as I look at it, on the left side here, the door, that will take you to Swami's rooms. Done exactly the way it will be in Prashanti Dham with an inner room, the interview room, etc. It'll be open and set up so people can see how it was, right? So that's will be the one that. Then the way the stage is going to come is on this side. So the altar will never get disturbed, and then people have to just turn around, and then that will be the stage where if we bring these artists for some big events, that's where they would perform, right? So this will be equivalent of the Kulwant Hall, right, with capacity for 1,200 people to sit. Yeah, next. So this is the Kulwant. When you sit there from the altar and when you look, this is the way it is. One entry will be for ladies, one entry will be for gents coming in, right? Next. So this is the educational area, right? This is the assembly hall, which is also we can use if we are conducting seminars on special topics, if there are classes being held. We'll try to emulate a lot of what is happening in Parthi. If it's got to be medical conference, and we can do that here for getting all the doctors in. If we were looking at some, like they do it in business, in the school for ethics in business, topics like that, which are all very, very important to deliberate, getting qualified people to come in like the way they do and participate here. And then there will be, those are classrooms. If you want to have discussion rooms for people to assemble, etc., we would do it. This can seat 400 people. We can put 400 chairs for people to sit down. And then there is an area, a small podium for seminar speakers and participants to be there. This will be used for SSC students to assemble when there is no seminar and they are having classes. If they want to sit down, do bhajans together, assembly hall for students. See, in Dallas alone, if we were able to bring all the 4 centers, unfortunately there's only 1 GC and 3 IO centers, we would have over 800 students in the SSC program. And so, because that's a big thing there, and it's really, there are people who have been immersed themselves in this. So we are trying to work with all of them to try to bring them so they are all part of this, right? So we are hoping that when it is done, we can have a lot of those classes, and then Vidya Vahini class, leadership training class, where a lot of young adults find it very difficult to go there, right? They can all come in the same thing, same people, the syllabus, everything is taught here, and our people can go and participate in it. And when they come, they can all stay free at the facility, right? So that's the kind of environment that we want to build, right? Next slide. So this is the hall when you look the other way. So what you see, the 2 doors, the inside, that leads to the library from here. So there will be a library with access to all the information, everything. And then the 2 doors on the other side lets you go into the lobby, right? So I'll give you the floor plan. Yeah, one more slide, and then I'll go into the floor. Go to the next slide, next one. Go to the next one, then we'll come back to this. Yeah, so this is the classroom. One of the things we want to do, full realization that if you want to get kids and even professionals, it's a different world, right? It has to be full, accommodate all of the electronic access. You should be able to access internet classes. We should be able to broadcast, etc. So everything that we would need to make this, really a very sophisticated classroom, we will do it, right? Because the next generation of children, if they don't have computers and they don't have access to many things, their learning is going to get impeded, right? So we want to make sure that we address all of that. So there will be up to 24 people can sit in the classroom, and that is restricted given the size by the city regulations, etc. But we would have 12 classrooms like this. So at any given time, 300 people can be involved in training sessions and so forth. Okay, next. See, so this is really a learning center as well for whatever applies to Swami's teachings, right? Next. So this is the library. So you come in from there. That is the entrance from the top, coming down. You get to the lobby. On one side is a bhajan hall, stage, meditation room, mandir, and Swami's room, as I explained. Then the other way you go, you come down straight, you have Divya Smriti. That'll be about 4,200 square feet for people to come. So anybody can come in, go to Divya Smriti, and if they don't want to come to bhajan hall or anything, they can go. It'll be open for anyone to come to Divya Smriti to learn about Swami. Then we will have a library, and it will have connectivity with Radio Sai, so they will be able to access all the information that people want. And then you go from there into the educational wing. There's the stage, and then you have all the classrooms. Then as you enter, we're going to have a special area for people to leave their shoes and the bathrooms, etc. So they go and drop, come in, spend whatever time, and go out. That's the plan, right? Then when you go out, when the final drawing is done, there'll be walkway going out that will take you to a kitchen, a dining room, and a kitchen area, similar to Prashanti Nilayam. And then from there you walk into these accommodations. So we were given guidelines on that as well, right? The accommodations, Swami didn't ever want those accommodations to be luxurious, and Swami didn't want people to stay there permanently, okay? Those two we have to adhere to, right? So, and he didn't want anybody to have free accommodations, right? No free accommodations, no free food. That was, but at the same time, you don't make profits out of it, right? You just cover the cost. So we've been given guidelines that we should have rooms that will have 2 beds, with a table in the middle, and then a closet for people to hang their clothes, and then every room will have an full bathroom attached to it. No provision for cooking, right? Everything is available in the cafeteria that they can go and eat and come back. And when they come, the accommodation will be comfortable but not luxurious, right? It's very important. And then they stay for 3-4 days and go back. So our plan, and this is done exactly, all they have to do is pay for maintenance and some of the work that's got to be done. So, he's part of the group that is working on the cost associated with that. So it'll be maybe $20 a day per room, right? Something in that range, we don't know. And then that's it. You're staying for 5 days, and then the food, you just go down to the cafeteria like we go in Prashanti Nilayam. It'll be at cost, right? No profits. Whatever is a cost gets divvied up, you pay, and then you can stay and go. Everything else is available to everyone. So that's the plan. So initially, the focus is we are going to get started on the bhajan hall and the educational area as quickly as we can start. So Swami is installed there, and then that place starts to act. And then we will create the buildings, every building, each building will have about 100 rooms with 2 beds. So about 200 people, and we'll probably have 4 buildings, so there'll be probably a total of 800 people who can stay there for if they come for Swami's birthday or any of those major events, right? And so that's the plan. And then when you go further, there will be a free clinic which will have direct access from the road for people to come in. And that we have not designed it. We need to get a team of doctors involved and then bring it together. That committee has not been formed, but that committee will be formed and their recommendations will go into this. And then we have a huge storage area where the disaster relief, and that will have direct access from the road. So if trucks have to come in and pick up, we'd have. And then anybody from anywhere who wants to contribute anything, it comes, it is stored, and then it goes out. So that'll be the disaster relief. And then on one side, we'll have a community garden run by local volunteers. And then what we produce is distributed freely to people to come and take it from there. That's the whole plan. So these are some basic things we have worked on. Lots of volunteers are needed. So there will be a good volunteer program. When the website, we will finish and release very shortly. So you will have the opportunity, if you want to volunteer, you can put your name there, the areas where you are interested in volunteering. So we'll have a very, very good record, the supporters and volunteers of Prashanti Dham, so we can reach out to them for different events. And then you'll be able to make your own accommodation reservations. You can mark the dates when you're coming and be able to come in when you're there to stay. So it'll all be created on the website. This will take a few years, okay? This is not going to happen tomorrow, but it is in phases that we will do. And the speed with which it happens entirely is up to how Swami makes it happen and how many volunteers we can get involved to participate in it. So this is what I wanted to share. I'm more than happy to answer any questions and look forward to as many of us coming together to serve Swami in this mission. Yes, sir.
One is completed. All the programs will be like in Bethesda.
Yes.
Morning bhajans and evening bhajans.
Yes, there will be definitely evening bhajans, and morning there will be, because there'll be a small group of people in Dallas. Today we do morning Suprabhatam, but we do it online, right? So it'll become a place where, yes, we will start. And then as devotees are visiting, it becomes a routine thing to happen. So the idea is we would have, so it will start with Suprabhatam in the morning, then you have Nagara Sankirtan, then you come in, and then you can have Swami, we have to be there for some bhajans in the morning, then people can go to whatever session they are, and then in the evening, we would have full bhajans, right? Because that we would have enough volunteers today in Dallas to be able to do that. And then as people come in, they will be able to. And we can have people like Kumar kind of decide who is coming, who is saying. We got some experts here who know how that operates, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. See, I think it will evolve, I think. We cannot plan these. It depends on how the volunteers come, how. And I think it'll go on Swami's plan, right? But the intent is to get as close to Prashanti Nilayam, and we get permission from them to make sure that it's all conforming to it. Yes.
Is there a plan of doing this like a timeshare?
Yeah.
Where people kind of, I know it's been done in Prashanti Nilayam as well.
I'll tell you, a good question you asked, okay?
Just, I know it might be in the minds of some people.
No, it is. In fact, I'll give you a whole story on that. So when Naganand came and we were talking, right, he said, you know what, I got a great idea, right? Let's do timeshare. So I said, okay, if we can do it, tell me how they did in Prashanti Nilayam. So he went through that. That could be done here. This is why I got this guy here. He spent so many years in the timeshare business. He got in. So we kind of, see, here's a limitation to it, right? And we have to get legal opinion on it. The 501c3 guidelines has got certain restrictions on what we can give the donors as return. So the original idea was people can contribute to 1 week stay or 2 week stay, and then they or any of their family can come and stay, and it's an ongoing opportunity for that family to stay. Because all we were interested in getting the initial funding to build it. After that, it's available. So if somebody contributed, then it's their family and their family for the next generation. Every time they come, they'll be able to stay. But the restrictions is, in the 501(c)(3), donors should not be, by virtue of the donation, cannot be entitled to any facility, right? So we have to kind of work around it. I mean, if you step into the gray areas, you can do it. But you don't want to touch the gray area, okay? And I'll give you one personal example of mine that with Swami. We were when the Enron debacle happened, there was a decision made that we were going to have a seminar on ethics in finance, okay? So I was one of the speakers, they called me to come. So I was sitting there, and then the topic I chose to speak was navigating the gray area. So I went there, and I was in the private equity business at that time, and every profit that we made on transactions was navigating the gray area. We're on the right side legally, but then there's a whole bunch of issues, and it was not even a consideration. That's how it operated, right? And so I went in there and I told people how profit-taking happens navigating the gray area. As I was speaking, a couple of those professors were getting, Radha Swami, Ramu, these are all senior professors. They were going like this. So I knew I was making a mistake. I didn't know what it was. So after I finished, they told me, what did you do? You were telling navigating gray area in Swami's school. So I said, what happened? Did I do a mistake? He says, yes, you made a mistake. So they told me that for Swami, it's black and white, right and wrong. There's no gray area. Okay? So he said, if you go today, Swami's going to be angry at you. So I got really nervous, right? This is the first time I'm experiencing this. So they told me, you come and sit right next to us. So we went to there and was sitting right next to them in the veranda. Then Swami was coming, and then Radha Swami told me, Swami gets angry. Just bend your head, don't talk back to him. I said, okay. So he came, and I'm really nervous, right? So he walked, didn't talk, he went around. He went 3 times, right? Different times. Then finally he came, and fortunately for me, he had a smile on his face. He said, right, wrong, truth, untruth, black, white, no gray. And then he walked away. Okay? So I'm petrified to navigate in the gray area, okay? So we have to come up with a way to do it, you know? So see, that would be adharmic in his view, and we cannot do that, right? So we have to kind of come up with a different way to do it, as long as it's legally permitted and 501(c)(3) guidelines are met, right? So we will try to get some legal opinion to see how, but that would be a beautiful way to do it. So we're hoping, right? So I brought this up. See, in India, they don't have that restrictions, right? You know, so it's easier for them to do it. Here, the 501(c)(3) guidelines are pretty strict on what the donors can be provided and not provided. And the last thing you want is to get caught in all of this with Swami's organization, right? You don't want that at all. So.
The foundation, when is it going to be laid? Do you have a date set?
We will have that brings me to the next thing. So one of the things we are doing on May 30th, right? That you must have already got the flyer, right? What we are doing is we are consecrating the ground and invoking Swami. And the way we are doing it is we are getting mud from Prashanti Nilayam, water from Chitravati River, and we are also taking the mud from Prashanti Nilayam. And then we are doing 1,116 lingams. And then we are on the 30th in the morning, we start at 6 o'clock. And we start with Supravatam, Omkaram, Supravatam, and then we go into Mahalagunyasam, and then we will have a small breakout for breakfast, and then we get back, and then we do the Lingarchana. And then after that, we will chant the Rudrams, and then we will do Rudra Homam, and then conclude it by 1 o'clock. So this is it's only one day of what was done in Prashanti Nilayam, before we had the last Adhirudra Mahayagnam we had. There was a couple of days before, they had a program where you could go and participate. Exactly the same thing we are going to reproduce here for one day, right? And Shekhar Budapalli, who was the one who did it there, he will be here to do it, right? And I don't know if there is a possibility that Vednarayan could be coming, so we are hoping we can drag him on that day as well to this, right? So that, to your point, that's where it starts. From there, as soon as the drawings are approved because we have to make some designs, we'll fight for all of those, and once we get the city permit, then we'll start. The first thing is we are going to just start it with the bhajan hall, right? So the way we are doing the building, that whole bhajan hall, the classrooms, all of that, the latest technology is they come in and create these huge concrete slabs and they just take it up, right? That's how most of the large buildings are built. So that's how it'll be. So we will lay everything out on the perimeter, the wall, external wall, everything will be laid out for all of that main building. Then we will start finishing up the bhajan hall and become operational, then clean the classrooms and rest of the areas, and then move out to build it. So the idea is to get it started. In fact, they want in Prashantinam not to wait, but get it started, right? So as soon as we get the layout agreed, and then the architect goes out and makes all the changes, then we'll apply for city permit. And once the permit is drawn, because to put the sewer lines and everything, they need to know where the residential accommodation is going, all of that, right? So that work is going on right now. So when we get that, to answer your question, as soon as a permit gets, we'll move on it.
The building is likely to start this year or next year?
As quickly as possible. It's not in our control, right? If Swami can make the permit happen very quickly, right? We just have to let him guide us, be prepared to be starting it as soon as possible. So our intent is let's all be prepared for everything to happen fast, right? I mean, like as Ms. Chakravarti said, once it moves, you will be running because he will be running. You have to run with him, right? So we'll say. Any project they started has been very quick to finish. Once they start, boom, it gets done, right? And this is what they told you. You have to be prepared to run with it, right? And that is the expectation there. When we get started, let's get it done fast, right? See, none of them are concerned, right? You try to say, what about fun? Swami will guide you. What do? You can't talk anything after that, right? So, it's testing our faith. That's what this is, right? For me, it's really, I think for all of us, it's testing our faith, right? How much faith we put in and just get started on it, right? Yes. Yes.
Sairam, I'm going to ask you this sort of fundamental question. Once the permit is obtained, in order to go forward with the building, what is the source of funding and how do you envisage such a huge project?
As I'm going around, there are people who come to me. We are in one of those situations where we cannot openly solicit for funds. That's our organization, right? But yet, it's understood that all these things, activities will require funds, right? So you make the presentation, you talk to them, right? So to give you an idea, without the corpus fund, if we were to get all this building done, the requirement is the estimate is around $20 million, okay? The cost of maintaining this on an annualized basis, a monthly cost, is probably, we've already done the costing on it, will probably be in the 55 to 60,000 range, okay? That's monthly maintenance costs. So part of the plan is we use the first 20 to get the construction done and then try to create a corpus fund for about $10 million. That will then be managed with Northern Trust. And they have agreed to manage the funds as a nonprofit for half a point, okay, which is fantastic, right? And they have agreed to continue that on an ongoing basis. So that, and then they work the portfolio, the return to be no capital erosion and a 6% net of the 0.5 is what they have worked out the portfolio distribution to be. So that should give us at that 55, 60,000 we want. And that's ongoing and nobody touches that. That corpus fund is operated by them. There are strict guidelines. So even the board has to, they have to go through several things to change that. Only the board can do it and they have to follow certain guidelines. That would be the setup, right? To collect that. So, and then there will be people who will be making contributions for all the events. And then if you're staying there, those all keep coming in, which will all be part of the operating costs, right? So when the monthly funds come in, there will be two funds created. One will be a fund for building maintenance as needed. And another one would be for any other unexpected catastrophic activities. And then you keep putting in 5,000 into that every month out of the 60 that comes in, right? So if there is any catastrophe, you first dip into that fund before you do anything else, right? And then the way the banking account will be set up, all contributions go into one account, and then from there you transfer it to an operating account to use it. So we have tracking of every contribution that comes in, and there is only the treasurer is authorized to, with the president of the corp, with the chairman of the board, to move money from that account where contributions come in to the activity fund, right? And then that's where the checks are written for daily operate. So we're setting all that up, working with Chase Bank. So that should all be finalized by the end of this week. Once I go back, we'll finalize that. So there'll be strict guidelines on how the money is raised and how the money is spent, and there'll be complete exposure to everybody involved.
Just a rider on that, I'm going to put it just for the purpose of transparency to the audience. I know that this is a great project, and of course, the L-shaped land with the building there reminds me that L is for love. Probably there's a reason why the
I didn't think about that. That's a good one. Really
building
good.
is still there. That's what I thought. And also when you mentioned about the 3888, when I added it up,
27,
it
I know.
came to
9,
27 and
9. That's, we asked for that number, yeah.
It's a very good
Yeah,
start there.
correct.
So, I mean, it's a great project with a phenomenal financial outlay. So, it's great to have the moving members coming into the board in order to manage such a wonderful project for progenies. But at the same time, I just wanted to know who will be giving you the financial wisdom down the generation in order to manage this in an effective way. And I just wanted your thoughts on that, so that, you know, in terms of managing the concept, so that it's financially viable and it is not, nobody makes a wrong decision.
Yeah, yeah. See, those are the guidelines that will be laid out, right? Right now, I'm actively involved. We have a committee that we have formed. My whole professional background for 50 plus years is all corporate finance. And so I'm working with the team, right? Several people are involved. We'll put complete guidelines and ensure that those guidelines are adhered to and supported by Prashanti Dham and the Central Trust. That's the first job. Once that is done, it's really important, to the point you're making, to have not just Those who created will be there. You have to get the younger generation to get actively involved in it, right? Because it's multi-generational, right? So you see, and that's the recruiting that we have to start working on once it is done, right? So at least now we've got several people involved, not in the 70 or 80 year category, but there are people in this group we are working with who are in their 50s. We just want to be cautious, right? 50s is a good matured age to take on all of this. Then they just keep training and bringing people in, right? So we have a committee. They have a committee. Most of them are professional people who all had exposure in finance. See, the beauty of our Sai community is we have a lot of people who are well qualified, well educated. You get great guys with computer background, great guys finance background, excellent in the medical field. See, Swami has brought all of us together, right? It's a question of tapping, which is why I kept saying if you have any area you're interested, right, then those are the groups we have to bring together, right? The point you're making is very true because you spend time and we all started, we only have a few years to live, right? And everything has to be set up for generation to continue, right? And so, yeah, it will be, the guidelines would be set up and then we bring each generation someone who's trained, who runs and then does it. So the treasurer's position will become very important.
Sorry.
All the donations you're getting is tax exemptable?
Yes, it's a 501c3. It's all tax exemptable. So that's why what we are doing is the system will be set up that when you make the contribution, it already knows from where it's coming, right? And then we will be at the end of the year, you'll be able to send out the exemption certificates to all of them. It's a full-blown 501c3. So there's dollar for dollar, it'll be tax deductible.
Sairam.
Yes,
Sairam.
you can serve too on anything you can do, okay?
I think all of us are very excited for this. It's a really amazing project under Swami's guidance. I was just wondering, as wise who are on the younger side of wise, we don't have jobs or anything yet, and we don't live in Texas, wondering like how we can get involved and help the effort if that's possible.
However you want to do it. You can join committees, because see, we have to be all remote, right?
Yeah.
We were just talking about today, right? The technology committee that we want to form, right? The people working in the finance committee are all remotely located, right? So in this day and age, you don't have to be physically present to get involved in it, right? We use technology, we all work together, get together in meetings, talk about different things. Everything gets prioritized, everything gets executed, right? So there will be a lot of committees that we are going to be forming. See, right now the focus is on putting the guidelines together for the financial side of it, making sure the banking relationship and every dollar that comes in is accounted. That's what's going on right now. There's another group that is involved in looking at the building permit issues, all the changes that we are making, and working with the architect. That's what is going on right now, right? And then we will be adding, now there is another committee that is forming, which will be the technology committee, right? So we are working on the website, making sure, and then we need to bring the accounting system in place. So we are looking at what is the best, with whom should we partner to keep track of all, and everything has to be in the cloud. So it's accessible even if you're remote doing different, so that's all being planned, right? So the people involved are those in corporate setting who already had experience doing it. So when we do it the right way. And we use the latest technology to do all of that. So that's what is going on right now. You know, you have been in many meetings, right? We're having a lot of those meetings. So anything you want to get involved, fill out, you'll go to the volunteer form, tell us what area of expertise, what expertise you have, which area you want to get involved. Then it's open, okay? We need volunteers. This is not 10 people. We're talking big volunteer group to be involved in it.
Sairam.
Sairam.
So I remember when we were growing up, we used to go to Prashanti and become the part of the Sevadal. And so when the phases of development, every time you go, something new comes up and things, get evolved. So one of the thought is that our retreats, right, the regional retreats which happen, and they are almost, at least, probably the number could be wrong, 40K is the total expense of a retreat, right? All that can be, if I don't see a plan here that we can make the retreat the same location year after year, and the volunteers
You can say we are going to have that.
contribute
right?
that.
Yes. No, see, even better than that, you want to make the retreat, book the dates ahead of time, book the rooms ahead of time, you come and stay there, you do your retreat and go back. You don't pay anything to use the hall, you just pay whoever is staying, whatever is the minimum for the building, stay, and that's it.
Sorry to interrupt you. My point was that why not the retreat which is coming next year, we plan it to happen there. The reason I'm saying that, we have lived in Prashanti outside near the sand where the mandir was getting built, right? The same way, there'll be some hardship, but why not? We all go through this journey and see every brick we plant there, put the foundation, and we all come together.
Yeah.
So my point is that to wait for all halls to be made, bhajan halls to be erected, why can't we have tents there and have people, sit there and go and contribute for 10 days, 5 days, do the bhajans and in that spirit. So anyway, I think
May 30th, that's what we are doing. We're erecting tents.
Yeah.
But see, you have to understand something here. We're in the United States, okay? We got to go get city permit. See, we cannot go to an empty land today and put tents without getting city approval, without getting fire department approval, without getting sanitation approval. There's a lot of requirements. Do you follow me? So being able to do what we did in Prashanti Nilayam here may not be possible. So we would have programs like this where we would put the tent. So that's what we are doing. We put the tent, okay? Now, you have people staying there for a few weeks. I'll just give you an example, right? You can't put those stalls, right? The bathroom stalls there. Nobody will go. None of you here will go for that. So what do we have to do? So for this event, we've got this hotel type of van coming in with air conditioned mirrors and everything, separate bathrooms for ladies with all the things needed, separate for gentlemen, right? You know how much that costs to bring it? $3,200 per van per day. See, we have to kind of work with that, right? See, we feel, yes, we will do, but I don't think we can do it. That's the reality of it. We have to be very practical, right? So, to your point, yes, as if there is a delay in the construction, we'll have more events with tents and everything, and people come together to keep the spirit, right? But the hope is we move forward quickly, at least get a bhajan hall. Then we are free, right? Then the other thing you have to remember is this, right? The climate in this country is very bad, right? If we try to do things, and believe it or not, Texas is a MAGA land, right? We had picketing in front of Hanuman temple there. People were walking down asking Indians to get out. I'm not kidding. This happened. Okay? They called the police. The police comes in and 2 guys showed up and they are standing next to the temple. When we asked why only 2 people are there, they are very silently demonstrating. This is America. They have freedom to do it. We have to be very careful of all of that, right? So we have to kind of work within those constraints, right? So I think it's a little, but once we build our building and put walls around it, because this is a serious consideration, right? We have to put walls all around the perimeter. And we have to have entry points at certain areas for people to come in. You have an open exposure that puts everybody at risk, right? The area where the Dallas IO Sai Center meets, this was in one of the multi-faith places, they had markings all over there. One night people came in and put those markings because they thought that was wrong, right? So we have to be really careful, right? And now the climate here is so upbeat. Hopefully Swami will change it, but we have to be careful. So that security consideration is very, very important, right? And it's the practical aspect of it. Yes.
Sai Dham, I kind of want to go back to something you mentioned earlier. I wanted to ask this question around, this is meant to also involve the youth. And I wanted to ask, at this time, have you brought in youth to kind of participate in these committees? And the reason I ask this is because I think as a group, we also can bring a lot of information on technology, on what we want to see in this building. And I think that it's also very valuable to then, it can really change maybe some of the long-standing things that we've done and make it something that people our age also will want.
Absolutely. I think, we can talk, Pradosh, about it later, right? Part of the young national coordinator can get young adults to be in. See, believe me, I think you guys, a lot of you have more technology knowledge than I can tell you. All of you sitting there have more technology knowledge than me because there's so much has evolved, right? So yes, making use of all of you is very important. But we'll create that volunteer mechanism so we can get it, right? And see, like if you look at places like Sundaram and Dharmakshetra, everything runs with volunteers, right? And that's what we have to do here, right? So give us some time to figure it out, and then we're going to create a volunteer section on the website so you can go in, put all the information, so there is a database we have, and when work that your expertise match comes in, we're able to reach out to you. See, the other thing is, if you approach 100 people, because it is volunteer work, you'll get only 20% response or less, right? Because everybody will have other priorities. So we're going to create all that, and there's a group that is working on that as we speak. So if you want to get involved, when that volunteer form comes, put their way you want to get involved. And then, since Pradosh is here, we can work with the national young adult coordinators, right, to see how we can get them involved, right? I'm really huge on young adults, trust me on that, right?
Yeah, I think the most important part at this point is really to be aware and to keep all of you updated. We will be sending out the information via the regular channels, the emails and so on. So I would say all the young adults, whenever there are emails, those come to you from the center president, please make sure that you read them and get yourself updated. This is for everybody, not just young adults, but all of us. I think we have to make a habit of reading those emails. What I feel is, and what feedback I received is, many emails coming from the region or from the national committee or from higher are probably not read fully. Okay, and I think that is most important at this point. And if there are emails those were sent about Prashanti Dham, I think there will be more those will be coming. And still, we feel that not enough information is read through the emails.
See,
and I'm not blaming anybody. This is
we're all busy. Everybody is busy, right? We have so much information loading going on, right? WhatsApp has become a big problem right now, right? You go in the morning, there's 50 messages. You don't have time to read all of it, right? Seriously, right? WhatsApp is taking so much time because everybody puts you on group and you don't even know which group you belong to or what is important. I think we'll have to work through it. We already sent the registration forms. Balu sent it out. I don't know if all of you have received for the November 30th, May 30th event, right? Try to fill the form. There's a team that's working on hospitality, so if you need place to stay, they can work through that. And that is the beginning, right? And we wanted that. See, we are doing the Partiyatra, right? The team is Prashanti Dham to Prashanti Nilayam. So May 30th, that event is starting from Prashanti Dham, right? then you can do any sadhana you want, and then you can be on that Patiyatra trip in July, right? So I urge all of you, if you have time, to come there and be part of that one-day event, right? I think the energy would be enormous. You can sign up as a Ritvik if you want, like the way you could do in Patti, and then go through the requirements. One critical requirement is you need to be able to chant Rudram without referring to a book, right? You have to memorize Rudram and a couple of Purusha Shuktam. There are a few things we would list that you should be able to do. And then you have to follow certain rituals for 41 days that will start. So you will get, if you sign up as a Ritvik, we'll send you the details. So you can practice, abide by that, and then you're ready to come in, and you will be part of the people involved in doing the puja and chanting the mantra and all of it, right? That's how we want to get to participate, so it just brings us all together in a beautiful way. So you should do that, right? Sign up to be, and then if you want to volunteer, we're going to need so many volunteers, Sevdals there, right? So you can sign up to be a volunteer, right? And if you don't want to do anything, just sign up as a devotee and come and sit down and enjoy it, right? Any other questions? Yes.
Probably this is being ironed out, but can women be Ritviks?
Yeah, we did. In Prashanti Dham, we had women being the Ritviks. Yes, absolutely, yeah. Yep. In Swami's eyes, there is no difference. When we had this in Prashanti Nilayam, yes, everybody could sit down. In fact, couples were sitting, right? Husband and wife were sitting together and doing it, right? Yeah. So if you want to be a Ritvik, yeah. Swami has no restrictions on that, to the best of my knowledge, right? Even when they did the Adhirudram time, right? When they had, yeah, there were women in there. But the rituals they were doing on the day for the Yagnam and all of that, right? When they were doing the homam and everything, I didn't see women there. I don't know what the rules are. But as far as the puja went, what?
Sairam, I was just want to add that in the Kulwant Hall, what she asked was Ritvik means she was thinking as a priest who sit on the Homakundam around, though they are men, but on the ladies and gents side, we all, Swami encouraged us all
To do.
Yeah.
No, but here we are going to have the linga, and then we'll be doing linga archana, right? For that archana part, I think women can sit down and do it. Yeah, archana part they can do it. But when you do the homam, linga, the homam is being done, I think there's some, even in is that what you were asking? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That we have to follow whatever Swami followed, the guidelines.
Actually, when they did the Adhirudram in New Jersey, there were women Ritvik also.
I know, that's what, see, to the best of my knowledge, I can check on this and let you know. I don't want to let me check with Shekhar and they have a team that knows the exact ritual process. So I'll check with him and I'll let you know. Okay? I know he is, that group he works with, and he did that in Prashanti Nilayam also. That's my recollection. But when we did the Adhirudram in Kulwant Hall, when they were doing, they were not even, they were true Ritviks, right? Nobody could go and be a Ritvik. These were people who were professionals, yes. That was only the Adhirudra Mahayajnam for all the days they did, yeah.
They did that, but in other places, where Adhirudra Mahayajnam took place in America, there are women Ritvik.
Yes, women Ritvik. That is how we did here, right? The rule, they have to follow the protocol and we'll be able to get involved, yes.
Any SSSE children doing any events that day?
On the 31st,
On the
30th, no, I don't believe we have SSSE children doing any event.
But you know, when children come, parents come.
I know. Now that you say...
I'm just suggesting.
Yeah, See, the problem is the morning, it's all ritual, the ritualistic thing in the morning, right? The afternoon, we've taken a big auditorium, and because the morning rituals are over only by 1:30, people need to go rest up because you're going to be outside. And then we are starting the evening program around 5:30, and we are going to start with bhajans, right? And that is one of Kumar's, I'll talk to you about that. I don't know if Durcheti has called you, but you will be involved, okay? We are trying to get people like Kumar, okay? At that level of singing in Prashanti Nilayam will be involved. And then we were going to have Ratnakar talk and give opportunities for people to mingle with him and talk to him, right? So that was the plan in the evening. So we didn't think of children. Right now we are thinking of children only for Patiyatra programs and all of that, right? But I can check with the national SSE coordinator, right?
Even if it's 30 minutes to
45 minutes.
you will
Yeah.
attract a much bigger crowd.
We should do that, yeah. Yeah, we can talk through that and then see. There's time there, right? So we could definitely do something, right?
Please suggest this to the national SSSE coordinator.
Yeah, we'll do it through the national, right? That way it will reach out to people. Because everything we are doing in Prashanti Dham is really the national team is involved, right? So that's how we'll do it. Oh, we can find, adjusting the timing will be very easy, right? That's not a problem. That's not a problem, yeah.
Any more questions from the women's side? You guys have been pretty quiet.
How far is Prashanti Dham from Dallas?
Oh, Dallas is very easy access. You come out of Dallas Airport, take George Bush, and then you come right down and boom, it's there. So it'll take you 30 to less than, during traffic time, max it'll take you is about 4. Yeah, you can do it in half hour when no peak time, if it's not rush. During rush time, about 45 minutes. The access is very easy. We didn't plan it that way, it just happened, right?
Since it's going to be next Prashanti, I was thinking of.
Huh?
Since it's going to be the next Prashanti, I was thinking how we reach Prashanti from the Bangalore airport.
Oh, you don't have that. See, this is going to be much easier. You can just guide in, right? Yeah. It's easy drive. That road is very nice and it's easy to come from the airport.
Boys here, any questions? Sathya, Krish? No?
Sathya usually has a question.
What question do you have? One question. Make up a question. There you see, he got it. Sure, yes. 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 Whatever, right? See, when you come for this, you can guide people. There'll be older people coming. You can get them to come sit down. You know, there's a lot of stuff you will be able to do. We'll put a scarf around all of you and you can do it.
Uncle will be a junior media coordinator. Couple of these children can be on the technology committee.
I know, I'm watching. Yeah. And then I saw this great harmonium player, right? Every song.
Yeah,
wow.
Our SSE kids are very talented.
I know,
So
I
all
could
of
see.
them are- yeah.
You know, here and the previous place I went, the tabla 2 kids were playing. It's just fantastic, right? See, that's really what this movement is all about, right? Getting kids involved is so important, right? So when you see someone like him playing harmonium, it's great, right? Yeah, yeah. See, that song you sang, I was watching him play. He was just moving his hand. It was so good.
He even makes the singer really better.
I'll repeat one question that was asked earlier so that everybody can also get benefit from the answer that Uncle gave. Why Texas, Dallas, and not some other place which is central? This was a question asked, okay. And somebody suggested what, Kentucky, I believe? Or why that kind of a place? And what are the benefits? Uncle probably can go over
Well,
that.
yeah, I mean, it just happened that 9-acre land was available. But see, the best part of Dallas is it's accessible from anywhere around the world, right? The airport is much better organized and less intense than Chicago, right? Chicago is another spot where anywhere from the US you can access and return back the same day, right? Dallas is another area. But Dallas airport is spread out and the terminals are all separated, so it is very easy for you to come on American and get out. You can come on United, get out. All the major airlines have access to DFW airport, right? It's very convenient and it's very easy for you to get Uber rides or whatever you want and then get out of there because it's very well laid out. Unlike Chicago where you will get into a nightmare coming out of the airport or going into the airport. And it's from anywhere you can come and go back in a day.
And the core population of Sai devotees, as we say, 800 children if everybody joins. 800 Balvikas attending children.
We'd have more than 1,000 plus families.
Yeah,
easy.
1,000
More
plus
than
families.
easy. If all the centers came together, okay? They're all scattered. But if we bring them together right there, you'd have a volunteer base that will be unstoppable, right? And we are hoping, right? That's why we have opened it out to everybody. And believe it or not, this program we are doing, you were there a lot of people just jumped in from SSIO and they are leading a lot of the efforts, right? Getting rooms done, getting these. Everybody is like feeling very good about it. So we are hoping that we can bring them, right? And these are people who have been with Swami for a very long time, right? So we have approached all of them and told them to be part of it, right? So if we unify, that would be a very beautiful thing, right? Yes. You would have a volunteer base that can come and do everything there.
They are becoming Global Council registered.
We have what is called Prashanti Dham. See, if you're not part of Global Council, you go out and register as a Prashanti Dham volunteer. And if you register as Prashanti Dham volunteer, you would have the ability to come to Patiyatra. Right? So that's motivating a lot of people. So this was it's all approved, right? We all talked about it and I think, it's there. So it's you can tell people here too, but here you don't have to worry. We have to worry about it in our place, right? We're a small group, they are a larger group. Here it's the reverse, right? So, but we are opened it up and we are seeing a lot of response, right? Because 80% of the people stayed not because they didn't even know what was going on. They stayed because their friends stayed there. They have been together for years. The kids have been going to SSE program together, and they didn't want to separate it. And they said, Swami is everywhere, right? Yes, sir.
No, I just wanted to say, we say one thing in this organization, all are one, be alike to
Yes,
everyone,
yes.
love all, serve all. I think it's nice that you're starting this.
We are starting, yeah. Swami is making
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
It's beautiful to hear.
Yeah.
Music.
Hopefully it'll come together, right? See, Swami always said, difference of opinion, right? In the conversation, when you're sitting in the veranda, it's a lifetime learning, right? Little bits will come, you add it up, right? Do you agree with me? I mean, it's the best place to learn, right? Difference of opinion will lead to anger. Anger leads to hatred. And then that hatred remains for a long time. Then hatred leads to reflection, right? Reflection leads you back to conversation. And that leads to love, right? And then unity happens. It's a process, right? So now I think it was first difference of opinion, then anger, then it was hatred. Now that hatred is turning into reflection, right? So I think something will happen here. I am hoping, right? Yes.
One of the suggestions that I wanted to make, of course, this is an overheard conversation in the recent visit to Parthi. They were making this very open, especially in Texas. Many people want to send their children for Balvikas, and many Balvikas are handled by SSIU
Yes.
at this point in many places. And this is put forth to the leadership, and I think you should probably bring it up again with Mr. Ratnakar when he visits. Because would there be an open access to Swami's principles in SSSE in Prashanti Dham? I know the answer is yes, but I just wanted it to be, so that it is accessible to all the children.
Yeah.
Irrespective of...
See, I think one of the things we are trying to do, and we have to work with the national team, is try to have an SSC program offered at Prashanti Dham. And the best way to do it is, there are people who have been teaching SSC for years, who've been trainers, they have been given guidance by Swami in Dallas right now. I mean, I can give you 10 names, and they're all on the other side, right? Right? See, I think if you bring people like that, I mean, these are really good people who really know Swami and they follow the guidelines. And they all separated in different groups because each one didn't want to compromise on Swami's guidelines, right? If we bring all of them together, we could have a very powerful program for children, right? That's the hope, right?
Is there any plan to set up volunteering every fortnight, every month for every state like we have in Prashanti Dham?
Yeah, we're fortunate in that there's one person, and since we're not mentioning names, I won't mention, but hard to plan those, but we have opportunities. So it's part of the Prashanti Dham model, right? It'll be implemented. I mean, Prashanti Nilayam model, it'll be implemented here. But there's a time to do some of those, right? But to answer your question, yes, as it evolves, that will definitely be part of it.
Paddy uncle, I had a question just to clarify. You mentioned it will be open to public. Is it, my interpretation is that, will you also allow it to other institutional needs, provided they meet, Swami's guidelines and they're using it for multi-faith teaching or similar faith-based
teaching? You have to evaluate that, right?
Mm-hmm.
First, our programs will be there, right? That has to go on. That's normal stuff, right? See, we have been approached. One of the questions that SSIO team asked, if you want us to come to participate in it, will you allow us to celebrate Swami's birthday? The answer to that question was no, we will celebrate Swami's birthday. You are all welcome to come and join, right? Right? To the point you're making, can the synagogue people come and say, we want to celebrate? I don't know what they would want to do, but it has to conform within the guidelines of what Swami has laid out, right? Can they come and visit? Yes. Can they sit down and participate in all the events? Yes. But are we going to give them the ability to organize those events? I don't know. That's a different question, right? When it comes, we'll have to wrestle with it.
Yeah.
And we have to get permission from Prashanti Nilayam also,
Understood.
right? Yeah.
That's what my question was, yes.
Yeah.
One question. So
Yes.
Final address is 388 Lowell Drive, Plano, Texas.
3888.
3888
Yeah.
Lowell Drive.
Lowell Drive, Plano, Texas. You go there, Google, it's there, it'll show you.
I'm just Googling, I saw the Google pin.
Yeah, you saw the pin. It's there, it's there.
Very close to Richardson.
Right, it's exactly close to Richardson, yep. Very close to Richardson. So you can access on 75 also and come, right? It's easy access.
Adding, going on, adding to what Lipika had asked, would the facility be allowed to be rented by other communities like or private people like
No.
Chinmaya Mission and other people?
Probably not. Probably that's those will. I'm not. It depends on, but I see. It's almost like Prashanti Nilayam. You can't go do all that. You have got your own events and activities that's going on, right? Everybody is welcome, but are we going to? Probably not, right? I don't think that would happen, but it's too early to say, right? We are absolutely not going to rent that facility for somebody to come and perform their marriage or something. If we organize free marriage for people, yes. It's not a party place, right? It won't be. Right? Garba dancing, not allowed, right? No, that is a big event, right? I mean, oh my God. No, probably not. Those things we won't do, right? It has to be there has to be something, right? But I don't know. I mean, there'll be different committees there making decisions, and they have to work with it, right? It's too, our focus is just get the building done, right? And then time is up, right?
What are the timings for on the day, 5:30? What time it starts, what time it finishes?
We will start with Omkaram 5 minutes before 6 o'clock, right? At Brahmamurtam. Then from 5:55 to 6:30 will be Suprabhadam, Omkaram, all of that. And then after that, we go into Veda chanting. And then after Vedam chanting is done, we go into Laganyasam will start.
What time will you finish the whole program?
The whole program with lunch. So the lunch there is going to be similar to what they will do in Prashanti Nilayam. When Shiva Puja is over, it's Tair Sadam, Puliyodrai, things like that. Evening will be with Ratnakar, it will be a full dinner. But this program, we are expecting it to be over between 1 and 1:30. So 6 o'clock to 1:30 is what you got a time if you want. That is evening. No, in the evening the program will start around 5:30. Then we'll have bhajans. And then after that we will have talk by Ratnakar. And then there will be time for people to ask questions. See, we're going to invite everybody, including all the Texas SSIO people, everyone. I think they will all come. And there will probably a lot of questions that will be asked to them, right? We'll have to see how we have to manage that because we don't want to get out of control. So this is something that we are having a committee. We are going to discuss it, right? Pradosh is involved in that. See, we have to do it the right way, not create negative atmosphere, right? And then Ratnakar has to agree to that, right? But we are going to invite SSIO people to come for that.
On that happy note, this has been a wonderful session.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please think of how you can support Prashanti Nilayam. That's Prashanti Dham, right? And let us know. Thank you. Sai Ram.
Sairam. Thank you so much, Paddy Uncle. You know, this has been a very, very special year for us. It's Swami's 100th year of his Advent, and we've had so many celebrations. And each celebration reminds us of how fortunate we all are. We are all contemporaries of the Avatar, and so many of us have gotten opportunities to, see him, get blessed by him, touch him, speak to him. And now we have another bonus for the 100th year, and that is the establishment of the Prashanti Dham in Dallas. So our deepest gratitude to Shri Paddy Padmanabhan for coming here and spending time and going over in great detail of how the plan is coming together and how his unseen hand is making his divine will unfold. I think it's a beautiful story. It's a story for the ages. And, you know, like Shiva said, the most heartwarming part was that this place is bringing together people from all faiths and all affiliations. I think we all feel that separation, the pangs of that separation. You know, like you said, the children all going to Saint Vikas, people coming together to celebrate Swami's birthday, and now they're just not able to do that. And it reminds me of two lines of a bhajan that say, "Tere janam din pe sain mile bichhade behan bhai." We all really hope that it comes true and everyone is able to, maybe this becomes the tipping point where everyone is able to come together and just, diminish those boundaries and just get them out of it. I have been to the Divya Smriti, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place. Even though we think we know about Swami, but there are still so many things we don't know, and it's a very beautiful way to depict his life. So I'm really excited to know that now we do not have to travel that far. It will be available to us much, much closer. And I was also really excited to see all the renderings of the whole spaces within the Prashanti Dham, the bhajan hall, the mandir, the spaces for education, the classrooms, cafeteria, and of course, buildings for almost 2,000 people. That's a huge, huge undertaking, and really, really thank you for taking us through that. Painting that picture in vivid detail for all of us to feel a part of it already. So our deepest gratitude to you, and thank you from everyone here. Thank you. May I request Sundar Srinivasan, who's the Regional Education Coordinator, to please present a small token of our love to Shri Paddy Padmanabhan. Please, sir.
Not too heavy, sir.
You don't need to take it back now. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. We'll close with closing.
Om Tat Sat Sri Narayana Tum Purushottama Guru Tum Siddha Buddha Tum Skanda Vinayaka Savita Pavaka Tum Savita Pavaka Tum Brahmamasya Tum Yahova Shakti Tum Yesu Pita Prabhu Tum Rudra Vishnu Tum Rama Krishna Tum Rahima Tavo Tum Rahima Tavo Tum Vasudeva Go Vishwarupa Tum Chidananda Hari Tum Advatiya Tum Akala Nirbhaya Atmalinga Shiva Tum Atmalinga Shiva Tum Atmalinga Shiva Tum.
Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityor ma amartam dhamaya. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Jai Jagadish Hare, Swami Sathya Sai Hare, Bhakta Jana Samrakshaka, Bhakta Jana Samrakshaka, Parti Maheshwara. Om Jai Jagadish Hare, Shashivadhana Srikara, Sarva Pranapate, Swami Sarva Pranapate, Ashrita Kalpalatita, Ashrita Kalpalatita, Apat Bandhava. Om Jai Jagadish Hare, Mata Pita Guru Devamu Mari Antayu Nive, Swami Mari Antayu Nive, Nada Brahma Jagannatha, Nada Brahma Jagannatha, Nagendra Sayana. Om Jai Jagadish Hare, Omkara Rupa Ojasvi Ho Sai Mahadeva, Sathya Sai Mahadeva, Mangala Arati Anduko, Mangala Arati Anduko, Mandara Giridhari. Om Jai Jagadish Hare, Narayana Narayana Om Sathya, Narayana 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 Om, Narayana Narayana Om Sathya, Narayana Narayana Om Sathya, Narayana Narayana Om Jai Sadguru Deva. Jai Sat Guru Deva. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Samastalokaah Sukhino Bhavantu, Samastalokaah Sukhino Bhavantu, Samastalokaah Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Bolo Bhagawan Shri Sathya Sai Ram Maharaj Ki. Paramam Pavitram Bhava Vibhutim, Paramam Vichitram Leela Vibhutim, Paramartha Ishtartha Moksha Pradhanam Bhava Vibhutim Idamasrayami Baba Vibhutim Idamasrayami. Sacred ash, miraculous Baba's creation, flowing from his blessed hand, holy creation, granting us the greatest wealth, God's divine protection. Beloved Baba, grant us liberation. Beloved Baba, grant us liberation. Paramam Pavitram Baba Vibhutim, Paramam Vichitram Leela Vibhutim, Paramartha Ishtartha Moksha Pradhanam Baba Vibhutim Idamasrayami. Baba Vibhutim Idamasrayami. Oh, oh.